Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Print. We have with us today Mr. Jitendra Chaudhary, State Secretary, Tripura of the CPIM, who is leading the campaign, Congress and the Left Alliance in the state. Thank you so much, Mr. Chaudhary, for making the time for us.
Khulum Khan, namaskar from Tripura.
Namaskar. Sir, I'll start right away. Your take on the BJP manifesto, sir.
Yeah. No, you see, BJP's the manifesto, it looks like a team with the defeated mentality. Why I'm saying so? In last occasion in 2018, their manifesto, that so-called Vision 2000 Vision document, that was higher than the Himalaya, that expectations they have built with 299 promises. That promises, it is spread over to all sections of the population. But this time, that number of promises in the name of the Vijay Sankalpa Patra 2023, it has been reduced to only 24. And therein, no mention of any job generation, no mention of, in last occasion, they have allured our employees, government employees, no mention about their future or their any, how to say, welfare measures they will undertake. Then there again, a bluff to the indigenous people, the tribal people of the state. In last occasion, they promised directly and indirectly that through their ally, that indigenous people front of Tripura, IPFT, that within 6 months of formation of the BJP-led government, the state will be bifurcated and another state will be created in the name of Tripura land. And there, the Tripura land people, that is the tribal people, in one hand, the BJP's 299 promises, in other hand, new state, abundance of fund will flow. And each and every family, they will be benefited like anything. Last 5 years, this BJP not only mum on that promise, and not only that, they have not even not conducted the election of its local body, the village committee of the TTADC. And there, while the TTADC's 5 years tenure was expired, only after the intervention of the learned High Court, the election were held. And the TTADC is strangulated like anything, no fun, nothing. Now, once again, they have come up with the promise that the TTADC will be empowered by amending the provisions of the 6th schedule. And last 5 years, one bill in the name of the 125th Constitution Amendment Bill 2019, it is lying for last 5 years. Nothing they have done. So these are all, once again, another step forward to cheat the people of the state, to, what will say, sort of kind of the, what will say, deceiving the people of the state in all respect. The youth, the women, the scheduled tribe population, and others. And this way, they have, that is, released their manifesto as if that BJP is losing this state. That's why only to, that is to pass the time, the few days are left till the polling, and after that the counting, that their how to say the world rating has already been written, and they are convinced they could read it out, and that's why this manifesto this time, it is totally baseless, totally having no direction, nothing. So this is the BJP offering to the people of the state.
Right. So, you call it a seat sharing arrangement, not an alliance, but you have an understanding with the Congress. But it is also a fact that left and Congress in Tripura have had a very long rivalry, sometimes very violent rivalry. Now, how are your workers on the ground taking this? Many of them that I have been speaking to have been talking about how, one party has, they have hurt my family, they have burnt my house, how can I go with them? How are you tackling that sort of sentiment?
You see, if anyone from outside the state of come to Tripura and visit and take the stock from the very common people and the voters in general, they will understand the fact. Normally, not only in the state of Tripura, in other state also, while such election comes, the political parties, they set their agenda, motivate the voters accordingly, and they, that is, propagate the people to vote in favor of them. This time, of course, before any political party, either the ruling or the opposition, of course, they must have some agenda. We have also, like BJP, though it is very, what will say, this time reluctant. But they are the people of the state, voters of the state. It is unprecedented not only for the state of Tripura, maybe for the entire country in the history of the parliamentary or this parliamentary democracy, that people set the agenda. The agenda is that the rule of law, constitutional order should prevail first. Then only the other agenda, manifesto, etc. So that's why the people, they have compelled to the secular and democratic political parties to come together. And we, the left, CPIM in particular, we took the lead in forging in the democratic and secular political parties. And that is the reason behind that there are ideological and programmatic differences with Congress. It was there and it is still not on, and in future too it will remain. But if constitution and rule of law does not prevail, then you can't have any debate. If parliament does not exist, if Vidhan Sabha does not exist, in any democratic atmosphere does not exist. What during last 5 years, there was no existence of any constitutional institution in the state of Tripura. So this is the reason behind that two rival political party come together with common agenda, and we have forked in having this seat sharing adjustment.
Right. Are you worried about motha, especially in the tribal areas? Because tribal areas at one point of time used to be the left front's stronghold, and it's being said that that's where motha is going to hurt you the most.
Yeah. Yes, Tripura motha, they have edge in some of the reserve constituencies, scheduled tribe reserve constituencies, but not that is among, that is across the state among the other population. But the number of total seats is 60. The reserve constituencies only 20. Out of that, in some of the constituencies, they have some edge. So that will not affect to the prospect of the left and democratic forces that adjustment of seat sharing. And there, how BJP got isolated from the people. And that worry of anyone who also very much worried for the situation of the state. Actually, there is no matter that will not matter for, that will not be a factor that to oust BJP from the power and to, that is, retain or regain the constitutional and democratic order in the state.
Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma has said that about the alliance, he has said that 0 plus 0 is 0. What would you say to him?
Actually, that same Mr. Hemanta Biswa Sharma, because he's the man in last 5 years or so. He's the friend, philosopher, and guide of the Tripura BJP. And all sorts of the nuisances, the lawlessness created, it is designed by him only, under his advices. So there, the Hemanta Biswa Sharma, he was thinking that last 5 years, how they manipulated the all constitutional institutions, the panchayat election, the civic poll, the last Lok Sabha, and the by-election of the 4 assembly constituencies. Each and every one was rigged. Can you imagine? 96% of the total theater panchayats gone unopposed. And this Hemanta Biswa Sharma is the schemer of this all project. So he thought that this assembly election also, after 5 years, and on the pile of this 5 years misroll, it will be easygoing. Now they're understanding that on the ground, that how the isolation is worrying them. And that seat adjustment or the common platform of the left and Congress, it has further intensified that desire of the people, the strength of the democratic masses. So that's why he's saying, and all this sort of the, that story of 0 plus 0, all this thing. But I can say very emphatically that BJP's tally shall be reduced to single digit. Single digit. This is the situation. And as on today, not a single BJP leader or BJP candidate in a position to say that my seat is safe. This is the situation in the state. How the people, they are getting themselves prepared, and their commotion against the BJP to oust them from the power. People are getting ready everywhere, in the city, in the village, in the hill, and the plain, everywhere.
So the best known left face in Tripura is of Manik Sarkar. So him sitting out this election, is it an advantage or a liability?
You see, yes, that is true. But Manik Sarkar, not as one of the longest serving chief minister, one of the cleanest statesmen, one of the, that is, who transformed this state in several ways and took the Tripura to the, stair of the national arena. Of course, Tripura party and people also in general, they opted that Comrade Manik Sarkar, he also led this election by also being a candidate. But Comrade Manik Sarkar, from his own, he opted that first to the Politburo, that he's not willing to contest. And then again, when that issue came up, the finalization of our candidature in our Tripura State Committee. This State Committee, almost unanimously, we recommended his name. But once again, he opted that no, his decision is final. And he publicly and within the party also, he stated that he will be very much available to concentrate himself in building our organization. So people welcome this thing. We cannot force any party member, any party leader against his or her will. So this will not affect, because peoples are not that is seeing or realizing that Manik Sarkar in the whole of affairs, he's not with us. He's very much with us. So it will not affect to our perspective.
So tribal issues are clearly forming a very important part of this election. Be it the BJP manifesto, the motha, all of those things taken together. You are the most visible face of your party. You are a tribal yourself. Why this coin is on the part of the alliance to declare you upfront as the same candidate?
No, see, this, what to say, in the Northeast, not only in Northeast alone, in other part of the country, since the 1980s, there is a trend, a phenomenon everywhere, because of the socio-economical and cultural isolation due to the our system. It is true that in our country there are about 11 crores scheduled tribe population now, and they are the most backward socially, culturally, and economically till today, after 75 years of our independence. So there a trend among the section of this marginalized population that if separate state could be created and some sort of the autonomy, some sort of the, how to say, the share of power is that is handed over to them, then their identity will be more secure. And that trend, it is prevailing in our Northeast also. But in our state, was while left was not in the power, it is true that the socio-economical, cultural, that structure of the tribal people has suffered like anything. And once upon a time, Tripura, where the tribal majority state, unfortunately, due to historical reason, that has reduced to the minority. So that heart burning is there. From out of that context, the issue of independent Tripura, the issue of separate state, issue of the ouster of the refugees, etc., the slogan was raised. But left, CPIM, during its 35 years of rule in two spell, that we have proved, no, that bifurcation of the state, creating tribal state is always not necessary. If that alternative program and pragmatic program could be charted out and implemented seriously, then that vacuum created that can be filled out. And this is not done. If you go by the any data, any facts, what was before 1978, before the left-front government first came into power, and after that. But there are still few people believe that if the ADC could be carved out from the Tripura state and new state could be created, either in the name of the Tripura land or Greater Tripura land, then the fate of the tribal people will be better. But what we say, this slogan of any such political party or any outfit for socio-economic upliftment, we don't oppose this thing. We do agree. Even under the leadership of the left front, enormous achievement we have made. Even though sky is the limit. So if any section of population, if they dream something, we are not against it. But in Tripura's situation, Tripura's geographical, social, cultural, now how it is structured, if anybody else or any section or from any party, that slogan based for bifurcation of the state or any kind of creation, new state, it is not practical. It would be not practical. It is not feasible or implementable. That's why we oppose any sort of the territorial disintegration, but we support any sort of development. So that's why the TIPRA motha also we appeal that we find that BJP's policy on the tribal, not in Tripura, all over the country, it is very, very much, what to say, that is negative or against the interest of the tribal. So we also appeal them that you can also join, because our enemy is common, that is BJP, not only their economic policy, even their political, religious, everything. They worship the slogan of Hindu, Hindi, Hindustan, where no space, no room for the Adivasis in this country. They treat Adivasis as the Adivasi as Janajati. They don't call them Adivasi. They don't call them indigenous. They are called Bonavasi. It is kind of humiliation. So that's why that we appeal the Tripura motha that if their expectations or aspirations to be met, only way that democratic struggle, and we are ready to render our support to this. And in this battle of restoration of democracy also, we have wanted them, but it could not be materialized. But still, our attempt is on.
What is your biggest challenge this election?
Biggest challenge is that ECI, they have assured the people of the state, the voters, based on their experiences of last 5 years, from their own. ECI declared that zero poll violence mission. We welcome this decision. And Tripura people also become very happy that Election Commission of India, from their own, they realized the gravity of the situation. But still, there are a section of the administration, both in the civil administration and the police. They are playing hobnobbing with the ruling party, and very particularly the top brasses of the government of India, the leaders of the BJP. They are trying to, that is, do something wrong, and by pulling or by that is maintaining some relations with these corrupt officers. So that's our point of worrying. But again, I would like to say, this time, the people of the state, the common masses, the voters, they are so determined. If ECI failed to, that is, ensure their commitment, the people to defend their right, they will do and go, come what may, to any other extent. This is the situation prevailing in the state as on now.
What would be the impact of the Trinamool Congress?
Trinamool Congress is not a factor in the state because Tripura people, they see Trinamool Congress and BJP is the that is other side of the same leaf. So what BJP is doing today, same thing the TMC is doing in West Bengal. So BJP, Trinamool Congress is not at all a factor in the state of Tripura.
Mr. Chaudhary, thank you so much for sparing the time. Thank you for speaking to us. all the best for the elections.
Thank you so much. And I invite you to visit Tripura after 2nd March and to see a new horizon, a new hope, and new history will be built by the people of the state under the leadership of the left, and also Congress is associating in this novel mission.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank you so much.